Oftentimes when we take a DNA test for family history and we get that magic email that says your results are ready, and we jump in and we just start looking at all the wonderful things our DNA has to tell us, we forget that it's important to check your settings. You need to make sure that the information that you're giving the system is the information you want given from the system. So check your settings. Let's see how that works here at Family Tree DNA. This is 5 Minutes with Your DNA with Diane Southard. When you test at Family Tree DNA, you first need to access your settings. You do that by clicking on your name in the upper right-hand corner, and that will bring up the settings menu, and then click right there on, guess what? Account settings. After you hit on account settings, you're going to see a huge menu. In fact, most of the menus in the settings are double tiered. So you see that set A there at the top, and then you've got set B at the bottom. So there's a lot of information here that you want to navigate. When we're starting out, we're in account information. The first thing you want to do is update your email address. This is really important. This is how Family Tree DNA connects with you, but it's also how your matches connect with you. So just go in, make sure your email address is up to date. Second, and this is really, really important, they allow you to add a beneficiary to your account. This is the only company that's really forward thinking enough to think, you know what, we're not going to be around forever, and this DNA information is important and it needs to be passed down. So this is a chance for you to name someone who's going to be able to manage not just your account, but your physical DNA sample in the future. So if you have encouraged any of your family members to test, you might want to ask them to put your name right here in this beneficiary. It will just make it so much easier moving forward for you to access their account or to order additional testing if that comes up in the future. So make sure you go in and add that beneficiary information. All right, now we're moving on along that top menu. Now we're in genealogy, and you can see we have 2 sections under genealogy: surnames and earliest known ancestors. This surname section is just a place for you to enter in any of the surnames you know are associated with your family history. You can enter surnames and locations for those people. What this does is it populates in the match page of your Family Finder results. You can see there in that column called ancestral surnames, most of them are blank because most people have not filled out this information. You want to fill out this information so that when someone is seeing you as their match, they can see some basic information about your family. Hopefully this means they'll send you an email saying, guess what? I found our common ancestor, instead of, hey, who are you? Right? So it's really saving you some time by populating this field, letting your matches know what you know already about your family history. Next up, we have the earliest known ancestors section. This section allows you to put the name and location of your earliest known ancestor on your direct male line, so your father's 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 line, or your direct female line, which is your mother's 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 line. This will correspond to a particular place in the mitochondrial DNA or Y-DNA match page called earliest known ancestor. So again, same principle. You're letting your matches know what you know, hoping that they'll be able to come up with your connection and you won't have to. If you want to update this information, you click on Update Location, but then Family Tree DNA presents you with kind of a confusing map, and you're like, what did this mean? I just wanted to insert my ancestor's name. Well, what you do is you click on that little button, Edit Location, at the bottom of the map, and then that will let you enter the information about your earliest known ancestor. This next one is called Notification Preferences, and this is really you saying, Family Tree DNA, stop sending me so many emails. If you're like me and you have had mitochondrial Y-DNA, autosomal DNA testing, maybe for multiple people, you get email from Family Tree DNA all the time. So the most important columns for you to check or check off rather, or turn off, is here where I've highlighted in purple. It's the mitochondrial DNA HBR1 section and the Y-DNA Y12 and Y25. Now we're not going to go into what all that means right now. There will be future videos that you can watch on Y and mitochondrial DNA, but generally you can uncheck those, as matches at those levels don't have that much of an impact on our family history normally. So you can say, no thanks, I don't want to see emails regarding those kinds of matches. And that will just reduce that clutter in your inbox. Lastly, and I think most importantly, we want to look at the privacy and sharing settings. That top part where it talks about your profile, if you click on that view an example of your profile link, you'll see what your matches are going to see when they click on your name. So for my dad, this is the information that they're going to see. They're going to see my email address. It's going to be out there so that everybody can email me directly. So make sure that email address again is up to date and the one you want people emailing you at. Then of course that earliest known ancestor information, some Y and mitochondrial information, as well as all those surnames that I've entered. So just click on that profile, see what other matches are seeing so you know, is this what I'm comfortable sharing with whoever might be clicking on my name? But I think more importantly than that is this next section. This is regarding Family Tree DNA's involvement with law enforcement. Family Tree DNA is our only genetic genealogy testing company who is openly, directly working with law enforcement to solve cases. The way the process works is law enforcement has a case that has DNA that they think can be solved using this technology. They approach Family Tree DNA, they fill out a form, Family Tree DNA says, yes, we think that your case qualifies according to our standards for a case that can be used for genetic genealogy. Then the officer is really allowed to search the database just like you and I can search the database. So if you want to be involved in that kind of effort, then you don't have to do anything, really, because as soon as you're tested, you're automatically opted into that research project. But if you're uncomfortable with that, or if you just don't want to do it right now, you need to go into your Family Tree DNA account and turn that off. This is really important that you understand how this works, and it's important that you explain it to any that you've had tested. Let them make the decision for themselves. Don't assume you already know what they want to do. So it's really important, again, that we're making sure that we're checking all of these settings, especially these privacy settings, so we're certain that moving forward, our account is working the way we expect it to. So here's your to-do list. I want you to add your surnames and locations to your accounts, also those earliest known ancestors so other people can kind of know where you're coming from. And last, review your privacy settings. Make sure that those are in accordance with what you want done. But after that, it's time to jump into your family history results at Family Tree DNA. So good luck, and I can't wait to hear how it goes.